Liv Morgan coming out of nowhere? Welcome to Wrestle Capsule. I'm your host, B. Today we're going to be talking about what went down on Friday Night Smackdown, but before I get into my review, let's talk about how Smackdown got vinced. And what I mean by that is some matches got scratched. They got thrown in the trash. One of them being Cameron Grimes versus Baron Corbin, because we knew that was going to happen. The other match that got scrapped was Butch versus Santos Escobar versus LA Knight, and it kind of got switched over. LA Knight ended up facing Rey Mysterio, and then Santos Escobar came in towards the end. We'll talk about that. We didn't get the Money in the Bank ladder match spot on the line between Bayley and Shotzi, which is one of the ones that I was really looking forward to. This happens, things get scrapped, things get pushed back, I get it. But the ones that got removed were the ones that I was really looking forward to. But you know, hey, the Bloodline Civil War segment, the Usos kick it off, and they are definitely in their element once again. They talk about welcoming Roman Reigns and Sikoa to the Uso Penitentiary. It's the last time we heard them talk about the Uso Penitentiary. Overall, this segment was really good to solidify Jimmy and Jey Uso on the same page once again. They're one accord once again. There's nothing between them. Basically, within this segment, Jimmy and Jey talking about how family's supposed to build each other up and take care of one another, not tear each other down, blaming Paul Heyman for what has happened within the Bloodline, and that threw me for a loop. Yes, Paul Heyman is the wise man, okay? He's the counsel, but Roman Reigns makes a decision, and it's just like that part right there. Maybe I'm the only one who thought this, but it was just like putting all the blame on Paul Heyman just made, for me, Roman Reigns look like, and Paul Heyman really being the man behind the scenes making things happen, being more than just an influence. So it kind of made Roman Reigns look a little weak. Maybe I'm the only one who saw it like that. Then we got Rey Mysterio versus LA Knight, and like I said earlier in this video, it was supposed to be LA Knight versus Butch versus Santos Escobar. That was announced, and then it got switched. The crowd cheer for LA Knight more than they cheered for Rey Mysterio. People, including myself, are so for LA Knight. They're pushing for it. Like, he is so over with the crowd, with the fans, and I know we all want LA Knight to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, that goes without saying, but I'm glad that LA Knight got the W on this. LA Knight got a clean W over Rey Mysterio. There was no putting the feet on the ropes and then no dirty pins. No, this man hit Rey Mysterio with a BTF and was able to pin him for the 1, 2, 3. This match didn't go into, you know, the next level. Like, it served its purpose to put over LA Knight, especially with that clean W. Like, this match wasn't anything like super spectacular. Even after LA Knight won, he still wanted to freak up Rey Mysterio. Santos Escobar to come out to defend Rey Mysterio's honor, and you know, LA Knight just scurried away. So Santos Escobar was still involved. I'm interested to see how this is going to unfold in the Money in the Bank match, because both Santos Escobar and LA Knight are in this match. We got one more SmackDown, so whatever happens on this last SmackDown is really going to determine what's going to happen in this pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever you want to call it. Now, I already was going into this WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Unification match. That's a lot to say. Going into this match, not looking forward to it. I thought it was going to be booty hole, booty cheeks, trizash, wiggity whack, but it was better than I expected. You already know how I feel about Shonda, even more specifically Ronda Rousey. I don't need to go into it. You can watch my other videos. I was surprised that I witnessed a competitive match the way that I did, and I was so proud of Alba, Fyre, and Isla. They brought it. I was expecting this to be a squash match. I knew that Shonda was going to unify these two championships without a shadow of a doubt. Whenever Ronda Rousey was executing a move, it just felt like I was watching slow motion. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if she was trying to make sure she didn't injure anybody. I don't know if she was going through something, but it was just so slow. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not gonna split hairs, okay? As much as this match was super important to the women's division, yes, but also to the women's tag team division. I mean, I can't say lack thereof because they're trying to build it now. What was even more important was what happened after the match. Liv Morgan coming out of nowhere. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan being in the ring with Shonda and being like, we want them belts. If this was what this was for, because honestly, I wanted Alba, Fyre, and Isla Dawn to unify the championships, but it wouldn't have made sense storyline wise. Look on the outside, looking at how everything played out, especially with Raquel Rodriguez being out there. I was like, I could tolerate Shonda being on the screen winning and unifying the championships if we get a Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Shonda match for these undisputed women's tag team championship belts, okay? I've gotten super tired of the Grayson Waller effect show. As weeks go on, this show becomes more and more pointless. I know it's a way for talent to come out there and talk about things that's going on in their storyline more organically, as opposed to them just coming out by themselves and cutting a promo. But you know what? I like when wrestlers come out and cut a promo. Does it always have to be, oh, they have to go on the Grayson Waller effect show on SmackDown in order to say what they gotta say? No, I don't think that's the case. I feel like we need to switch it up at this point, because we've seen him week after week have this show. He had Pretty Deadly on there. It was entertaining from time to time to see the dynamic between Pretty Deadly and Grayson Waller, because these three men have worked together on NXT. Like, I just like Pretty Deadly, but again, like I said, I don't think they needed the Grayson Waller effect, the Street Profits, and Pretty Deadly. What was funny within this tag team match, I think it was Montez Ford taking Elton Prince's, was it do you even call that his shirt? A halter top? A bralette? I don't know what you want to call it, but and doing this, like, stuff like this is so funny because these men are so animated. Use what is around them to continue to keep the crowd entertained. And Pretty Deadly already has a momentum right now. They face KO and Sami Zayn for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. So this update in the match card to switch out matches to put Pretty Deadly and the Street Profits in was a great choice, and Pretty Deadly needed this. And what is the icing on the cake is how Pretty Deadly won, you know, with a dirty pin. Like, come on, got some leverage, got the 2 feet up on the ropes, like, the pin for the 1, 2, 3. Ref wasn't paying attention. Let's be honest, I didn't care about this match. I like Charlotte. I will always like Charlotte. Lacey Evans, I don't even know how I feel about her at this point. I've gone through this type of thing. What are they doing with her? I don't know. This match, I don't even remember it, like, and I don't even care to go back to watch what happened in the match, because it didn't even add any momentum to Charlotte. It didn't add any storyline. It was just a random match between Charlotte and Lacey, and it's a little weird considering that these two have history. Did we not forget the whole thing with these two and Ric Flair? I don't even want to get into that. That was so weird. But considering that, it's like, it's almost like these WWE creative either wants us to forget this stuff happened or is expecting us to forget that this stuff happened. This is what we do with Lacey. Okay, like, I guess this is what she's used for on SmackDown. That match in of itself didn't really give a darn about it. But what I did give a darn about is Asuka, after Charlotte got the W, of course. Asuka coming out of nowhere, sliding into the ring and losing her shoes, I might add, and still going in to attack Charlotte as Charlotte was on the mat. Just this in of itself, this is why the match, it didn't matter who Charlotte Flair faced during that match. It really didn't matter. It just mattered that Charlotte Flair won, give an opportunity for our current WWE Women's Champion to come in, attack her, and to continue this whole thing between these two, because we are getting a championship match between these two ladies, okay? And we already know that Bianca Belair has been banned from ringside. Usos did nothing wrong. Adam Pearce is so scared. I hope Bianca be like, nah, cuz I hope she comes out last minute or something. There needs to be some sort of commotion between these three women. Now, I would love to see a triple threat. I feel like that's what they're working up towards. They can push off this whole Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair thing further and further. Now, I didn't talk about this before, but when Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa earlier in the show were backstage and ran into Ridge Holland, what did Ridge Holland do to deserve a Samoan spike? When Ridge was literally gasping for air. I like that they tied that in. Sheamus was just like, oh, heck no. So we get a Sheamus versus Solo Sikoa match. And this match ended in a no contest because referee stopped it. He stopped the match because Solo Sikoa was effing up Sheamus. Solo had some pinned up anger with his brothers doing him like that. This was definitely my favorite match of the night, like because of what Solo Sikoa did to Ridge Holland earlier in the show. But then you have this extra aggression from Solo because of all this stuff that he's dealing with. He got family issues, like there's a family war going on. He's got stuff on his mind, so I feel like that intensified this match even more. I mean, Sheamus is like, there's so much stuff within this match that I can remember. I think Sheamus was trying to do a Celtic Cross on Solo, but like his back caved out, and then freaking Solo's able to do a Samoan spike, and then Solo like bumped Sheamus into the announcement table. At one point, Solo blasted Sheamus into the barricade. And then when the referee did stop the match, and the WWE officials were trying to cater to Sheamus because he was effed up, Solo was pissed off. It's like, you're not gonna stop my match. Like, just because y'all stopped it don't mean I'm gonna stop. And then you have Solo throwing WWE officials around. Then you have the Usos come out, super kick the shiznit out of Solo Sikoa. Then they do a Uso splash on this man, and Paul Heyman this whole time on ringside, of course, pissed off. You know, he on his red phone. You know he talking to Roman Reigns. Like, what else is Paul Heyman cooking up now? So guys, let me know what you thought about Friday Night Smackdown. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more episodes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Signing off. Bye.